Killer Mike and Ice Cube are enemies to the black community. In fact, these rappers out here that dare to speak on politics are the enemies, and we must oppose them with every fiber of our being. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. That's the message that's being pushed by what I assume are Democratic operatives right now. Because you have people like Killer Mike and Ice Cube who dared question their power, who dared question their ineffectiveness as leaders or as the political party that claims to be representing black people. They are being smeared and targeted in what appears to be coordinated efforts. So Saturday, I'm on Twitter and I see a tweet from somebody, and she's talking about how Killer Mike and Ice Cube haven't been around since. Well, she says how Killer Mike has been around since the Georgia bill has passed, and Cube has been silent. So her tweet specifically says, Killer Mike being completely silent while Georgia tries to ensure black people never flip any election ever again, and Cube being silent since the election period is exactly why folks be like to some of your fave black celebrities with loud voices but no actual organizing work. So now the really interesting thing about this is that that's complete and utter bullshit. Just point blank period. It's complete and utter bullshit. But and this tweet has thousands of likes and thousands of retweets, and it's like wait a minute, what the hell is going on? Like, where is this coming from? But Killer Mike doesn't ascribe to the orthodoxy, and there are people who are concerned. They're like, okay, we can't have this guy who has a large platform, extremely visible, swaying, sending a message that's not specifically approved by us, the Democratic establishment. And Cube came straight out and says, listen, if they're not willing to do something, XYZ, boom, brought the contract with Black America up, then why are we voting for them? And people want to accuse him of working for Trump. And I saw an interview from Fox Soul, and one of the co-hosts, like every time Cube comes up, she's on some foolishness. Like Cube, so to address what Cube allegedly being silent since the election, that's, like I said, utter bullshit, because Cube has actually added more stuff to the contract with Black America. There was supposed to be a meeting with the Biden administration. I don't know where that's at right now. And once again, you can't necessarily say that's on Cube. If the Biden administration says, yeah, we'll meet with you, and then they're playing games, which, if you understand who Joe Biden is, if you understand who Kamala Harris is, that's going to be expected games. In fact, even if they actually have the meeting, you can expect games. But hey, so he's actually updated the contract with Black America, introduced more stuff, and this woman's response on Fox Soul is, and you see, this proves that he shouldn't have come out with it because he wasn't ready. Like, are you serious? Like, Biden, like how many of Biden's plans that he claimed to have, he didn't have. He gets into office, doesn't have a plan for distribution of the vaccine, for fighting COVID. Oh, we're winging it. But so then you should have told that, tell that to Joe Biden. Oh, you shouldn't have ran for office because you didn't have a plan set out. This clown nonsense. But these are operatives. These are operatives for the Democratic Party, and they're trying to stop anybody from going out of line. Because they want the black vote, and they want it for nothing. They've been able to get away with doing nothing, or even worse, doing harm. They've been able to get away with doing harm to the black community and still get 80, 90+ % of the black vote. Like, that's the reality of how comfortable they've gotten. But they didn't do it alone. They have operatives. And so you've got these operatives coming out, and if you've seen lately, like this guy from Brooklyn, he's not even black, but I'm just saying in terms of describing how the Democrats and these parties operate, they have these PACs and these organizations that will pay people to tweet narratives. Like, we want you to spread this narrative. So this dude, Brooklyn Dad, and he's like being paid, and he tweets stupid narratives, but it sets the stage and gets people thinking on social media, oh, this isn't coming from an official Democratic account. This isn't coming from Joe Biden. Oh, this must be real, and people just go with it. So it's like that collusion and that influence that they claim Russia had. That's what they actually do. And they use social media to spread falsehoods and lies and smears about people they don't like. And so now you've got, like I said, you've got rappers standing up, and I have a video that I'll be releasing shortly about that deals deeper with this issue. But you've got rappers that are stepping up to the plate, and you could look around and say, well, where are the experts? You know? Yes, where are the experts? That's what you need to ask yourself. Why does Ice Cube have a contract with Black America, but these experts don't? You've got these experts that be on MSNBC, CNN. Where are their black agendas? Where are they? They will constantly sell the Democratic agenda, but they won't sell a black agenda. They'll try to convince you that the Democratic agenda is beneficial for black people, but they don't have a black agenda. Somebody like Kamala Harris, who specifically said, well, I'm not going to come up with something specifically for black people, but she's doing it for Asians. But, you know, you've got these people attacking Killer Mike, Ice Cube. In fact, so that was on Saturday, right? There was another tweet on Sunday that really made me realize, okay, this is not accidental. They're actually coming after them. And this other tweet, so in that tweet, you'll notice that it mentioned Killer Mike and Ice Cube, but they weren't added. In this tweet, they were actually added. So Killer Mike was able to actually respond to this, and he did. But what was really interesting about this tweet was somebody else was added. Breonna Taylor from CNN was tweeted with this narrative. Question: where's Killer Mike? His silence during all this voter suppression in Georgia is odd. Sidebar: Ice Cube hasn't had anything to say either. So you see, had you just attacked Killer Mike in this tweet, but when you, in the same tweet, in like this is almost like the other tweet that we saw the other day. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. Is this a coordinated script? Or you're actually working in concert trying to spread this message? And like I said, what's really interesting about this tweet is trying to get the attention of a CNN reporter. It's like they're trying to get this narrative pushed on mainstream media and to make sure that people who aren't watching, who aren't paying attention to social media, still get this message, still have this distrust of people like Killer Mike and Ice Cube, anybody who's actually trying to get some results on behalf of the black community. Because if you know, Killer Mike has been down in Georgia, down, I think it's Alabama, working to help unionize. Like, that's work. He's actually doing work. You know, the Greenwood Bank, he's actually doing work. Like a black-owned bank, to like, instead, so you'll sit here and clap and cheer when the feds, when these Congress people are talking about a national bank, but when Killer Mike is like, no, let's have a black-owned bank. Now all of a sudden you have a problem with that. Like, now you're trying to act like oh no, he's just gonna get rich. Wait a minute. So what about this federal bank that they're talking about? How about using the power of the black dollar to actually help the black community? But it's really interesting, and plus Killer Mike's stance on guns has definitely got to be ruffling some feathers. But I actually wound up responding to this, and I'm like, hey, this is starting to look like this is a coordinated effort, and you know that that the Democratic operatives are actually coming after Mike and Cube because they dare to stand up and do something. And that should worry all of us. That's something to just pay attention to. Pay attention. Like, what is their objective? If what he's doing, if what they're talking about doesn't make sense, okay, challenge it on the merits. But when you're trying to slander, when you're trying to play this game of yeah, we're going to tell lies and smears and use these either fake accounts or paid operatives, to spread lies. Okay, what's your actual objective? Do you actually care about helping the black community, or are you just trying to maintain power over the black community? In fact, so one of the things Killer Mike, he responded to the tweet. He says, getting 2 senators elected ain't being silent. Silent is all your Johnny-come-latelys that are active on Twitter but not on the ground in Georgia. Pushing forward with the new Georgia project ain't silent. Registering black folks to vote ain't silent. You just woke up, finally. So, yeah, he has no problem listening because he's been doing work. But there are people who are afraid of his influence and Ice Cube's influence and the fact that they're not just deferring to whatever they're told to do. And that's what you have to pay attention to. The Democrats will push celebrities that will just fall in line. So if Cardi B is just okay, yeah, I'm going with it. If they're just listening to whatever they're told by the Democratic establishment, then they're approved, they get the stamp of approval, and they're pushed forward. And the same accounts that are talking about, oh, why are you following celebrities, will love it. In fact, in that same woman that tweeted on Saturday starts praising Kerry Washington for doing something she did. It's like, okay, wait a minute. So it's not that it's a celebrity. It's not that it's that they're using the Democratic establishment approved scripts, talking points, towing the party line. That's what it's about. It's not about results. It's not about actual caring about the black community and improving the black community. It's about the power over the black community. That's what you're focused on. That's what your concern is. And so when I responded to the Killer Mike's, response, and it is basically shut down to this woman or this person, whoever is operating this account. I said, hey, yeah, this is starting to look like a coordinated effort by Democratic operatives to discredit both you and Ice Cube. And he, responded. He said, the same folks would have hated Fred, Stokely, H-Rap, and later hated MLK because he was anti-war. This ain't new. It's actually just Willie Lynch minus the plantation. And the name that really sticks out there, I mean, I know the movie just came out, so a lot of people might think it's Fred, but Stokely. The reason why Stokely sticks out is because last year, Bill Clinton said the quiet part out loud at, I think it was John Lewis's funeral. And he talked about how they were so glad that they were worried that Stokely was taking over and gaining power, but, they were happy and satisfied once John Lewis established leadership. Like, that was the quiet part out loud. This is what you need to pay attention to. They want people in positions that they control, that will defer to them and follow marching orders. Those are the people that we need to stop listening to. They're not working for us. They're working for them. And that's what this is highlighting. These rappers, and you got to realize where these rappers came from. They came from an anti-establishment and like non-conformist mentality, and that streak is still with them. They were rebelling on against certain things, and they continue to rebel against a system that they see is not set up to help us. And that's why I'm loving it. I mean, we are in an era where we're now we're in an era right now where, because of technology, the power isn't as concentrated in the hands of the few as it once was, and they're mad about it, and they will try to use deception to try to reconsolidate the power. But we've got to take advantage of social media, technology, to counter their control as much as possible. As always, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, comment below. And in fact, if you disagree with what I've said, give me a thumbs down. Go ahead. If you don't like what I've said, if you're one of those Democratic operatives, give me a thumbs down. But don't run and hide. Don't just give me a thumbs down and run someplace else. Give me a thumbs down and then comment below why. Yeah, especially if you're a Democratic operative. Yeah, just spread whatever propaganda you try to spread, because I want to talk to you directly. I want to spit fire on you directly. So go ahead, comment below. If you go ahead, give me a thumbs down, but comment below so I can address it either in the comments or in a future video. I'm here for it. I'm not afraid of differing opinions, and I can stand. Like I use facts to back up what I talk. So thank you for checking out this episode of Escaping the Echo Chamber. I'll see you next time.